we're here at the EGX 2017, and we're here talking about the wonderful game, The Town of Light, now available on your PlayStation Store, on Steam, and what other different variations?
It's PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
And could you tell us a little bit about the game?
Yeah, sure. So The Town of Light is a psychological adventure story set around mental health. What makes the game really unique is that it's grounded in reality. The location that you explore within the game is a psychiatric asylum in Tuscany, Italy, that was open throughout the 1900s, from about 1908 through to 1978.
What actually inspired you to go down that route?
So the game was created by an Italian developer called LKA. The head screenwriter and the studio head there, Luca Dalco, wanted to create a game which was based around mental health. It's always something which I think it's touched everyone's lives, whether directly or indirectly, and he wanted to tell that story. When he started researching and he started looking at the history of mental health, he found that there was a huge psychiatric facility based in their region in Tuscany that had been closed since the 70s, and they began to explore not only the facility physically but also the historical records that went with it.
As someone that's actually tried out the tester here today, I've got to say it's really quite a remarkable game. I hear that you've actually taken some press out to visit the old asylum.
Yeah, sure. So we took 10 to 15 press out to the facility at Volterra earlier this year. It's an incredible facility. The size of and scale of it, it was home to around 5,000 patients during its peak and actually ran like a small town. So the patients were encouraged to work as part of their therapy if they were well enough. Everything from tailors producing clothing through to the coffins that some patients were buried in if they unfortunately passed away at the asylum. They were all produced on site by patients.
Absolutely, really quite astounding. And I've heard that there's some charity work as well that you've brought into the game. You've got some charity work that you...
Yeah, absolutely. The game really starts the conversation on mental health, and it does an incredible job of doing so. Us as a publisher and the developer, we want to continue that conversation. So we've been working with a charity out in the US called Take This, which was created by a group of industry veterans to talk about mental health and to boost that conversation with gamers. I think there's a common misconception that gaming somehow causes issues in mental health, and we don't see that at all. But what we do see is that gaming is a refuge for many, many people, and I talk from personal experience here that growing up, it was where I went. It was my safe space, and we as publishers and all the developers out there and the streamers in this modern age, we're all taking people into our community. We're building worlds, and we have a responsibility to look after them. So there's a much bigger picture, and we're excited to share things moving forward.
I've got to admit, I do use gaming as a bit of refuge for myself. And yes, why exactly should people buy the game though?
I think if you want to really understand the treatment of people historically, I think there are plenty of historical games that look at the big players in history, that look at Napoleon, that look at the pharaohs, but there aren't many games out there that actually explore the history of human beings and what people went through, and I think this gives you a really unique experience from that perspective.
Well, thank you very much, and I will actually be going out and buying the game now because I did really enjoy the trailer. And thank you very much.
Thank you for your support.
And enjoy the rest of the weekend.
And you.
Thank you.